Hey everyone, this is Theo from parkablocks.com. Welcome to another tech product review. Today I'm going to feature the Huion Kamvas GT-190. This is a pen display. If you do not know what a pen display is, it's basically a monitor that you can draw on with a stylus pen. And since it's a monitor, you do need to connect this to a computer in order to use this. So the folks at Gearbest, they have sent me this review unit very recently to check out, and today I'm going to let you know how it performs. Let me show you all the cables and accessories that are included first before I show you the pen display. So all these items are actually inside the box. They are all individually wrapped and packed inside plastic bags and wrappers. I have already taken them out, so let's go through them one by one. We have cleaning cloth, the driver CD, we have instructional manuals. This is a screwdriver with 4 screws, and they have included the screwdriver and the screws because you need to fix the monitor stand onto the monitor yourself. So let me move this out of the way and look at the cables. So this is the power brick. This is the power cable, and this is the VGA cable. The VGA port is a very old style port. I do not have any computers that use this port already, so this is definitely going to be a problem. However, the monitor, it actually supports DVI, so I do have a DVI cable. So if your computer still uses the VGA port, you can connect your computer to the display directly. This is a USB cable. This is for connecting the computer to the monitor so that it can register the pen stylus. And this is another USB cable. This is a USB charging cable for the pen. So the end of this cable will go into the back of the pen. This tiny hole here to charge the pen. This pen is powered by an internal battery. I'm not exactly sure about the battery life, but with all the pen displays that I have tried so far, battery life of the pen has never been a problem before. So this is how the pen looks like. It comes with a cap that cannot be posted at the back, so be careful not to lose this. This can be quite convenient when you are transporting your pen in your bag. It protects the tip. There are 2 side buttons, quite nice to click on. This grip here, this is rubberized, and this is the tip. There are 8 replacement tips included. Overall, the pen feels nice to hold. It has a nice weight. It's not too light nor too heavy, and there are 2 pens included. This is the pen stand that is included. It feels a bit plasticky, but it is very functional. You can put your pen on top of it horizontally, and when you unscrew the bottom section here, it reveals the 8 replacement tips that are included, and this is the nib remover. And now it's time to show you the pen display, which is inside this huge Ziploc bag. So let me just open this and remove the pen display. This is the back of the display. There are some instructions on how you can attach the stand to it. If you are using a VESA mount, you can also mount this monitor on the VESA mount. Let's take a look at the ports that are included. We have the DVI port, VGA port. This is for the power, and this is for the USB cable. Let me turn this over to the front to show you how it looks like. There is a protective cover that is protecting the screen. You can detach that, which I'm going to do so right now. So this is actually not a screen protector, it's just a big piece of plastic sheet. So this is the actual screen, and as you can see, it's very glossy. The screen is 19 inches and it features a resolution of 1440 by 900, so the aspect ratio is 16 by 10. And this is not a full HD resolution. This is not 1080p, so the resolution is lower than that. These are the menu buttons for the display, located at the bottom right corner of the monitor. They have a very firm feel to the click. Let's attach the stand to the monitor now. So there's a latch here with the stand. It's supposed to be at the top of the monitor. And let me just release that latch so that I can see the holes here so that I can put the screws in. The screws should go into these 4 holes at the outer edge of the stand. Alright, the stand is all fixed. Let me show you the different positions of the stand. So this is in its most upright position. You can release the latch here and push it down and use the stand at different angles. So this is the lowest angle that it can go to. The DVI cable that I have, it works, so it's plug and play. I have already set up the monitor. I have also color calibrated it using the Spider 5 Pro. Let me give you the sRGB readout. It's 98%, so that's quite good. NTSC is 72%, Adobe RGB is 78%. So with 98% sRGB, the colors are actually quite good. However, this is actually a TFT screen, so this is not an IPS screen. With TFT screens, the colors really depend on the angle that you are viewing at. So take a look at this. When I tilt the screen down like this, you can see that the colors have changed. Not just that, the reflection and the quality of the glass, it also affects the color quality. So for the best color accuracy, it is best to view the monitor straight on. And even right now, I can see a lot of reflection. So personally for me, I do not like reflective screens, but most pen displays, they do come with reflective screens, so that's just the way it is. And if you are going to get a matte screen protector to paste over the screen, it's going to affect the image quality even further. I work in the print industry, so color accuracy is very important to me. I can use this display to draw, to create graphic design, but I will still need to use another monitor to check the colors on because I am not that confident with the color accuracy of this, especially the viewing angles. These are some of the settings that you can change with the menu on the monitor. So things like brightness, contrast, color temperature. The brightness of this monitor is rated at 250 nits, but I measured 135 nits, so it's not that bright. This may not be the brightest display, but the brightness is still very usable. The contrast ratio is 1000 to 1, and from what I can see, the contrast is quite good. By the way, I'm using this display with Mac OS. I'm going to show you Windows later on, but let's start with the Mac first. So these are some of the settings that you can change with the tablet driver. So you can assign shortcuts to the buttons on the side of the pen. You can assign keyboard shortcut keys as well. And you can change the pressure sensitivity. Let me just set it somewhere in the middle. And in order to remove parallax error, you do need to calibrate the pen with the display first. So let's click on this. This is the calibration page. You just have to follow the red dot around the screen. I just want to point out the gradient. So this screen is supposed to be white color, but there is some sort of gradient. That's because of the TFT panel, and that is not surprising, not unexpected. So when buying displays, I usually go for IPS panels. This is the resolution of this display, 1440 by 900. My recommendation is for the same amount of money that you are going to spend on this monitor, if you can find another monitor or pen display that offers 1080p, I would recommend you get that pen display instead. That's provided that you can find that display at the same price. This resolution is very usable, but if you can get high resolution, why not? It's time to test the performance. This is Photoshop on the Mac, and the pen is indeed very sensitive. It supports up to 2000 levels of pressure sensitivity, and it's quite responsive. I do not notice any lag at all. So the strokes, they are quite smooth. There is very little jitter. Let me zoom in even larger and try to draw a bit slower to let you see how the diagonal strokes will look like. So this is me drawing very slowly. You can see that the lines, they are very smooth. The initial activation force of this pen It's very light. Right now I'm using the least amount of pressure that I can, and I'm able to get a line. So you can get this sort of variation. So this display, it works really well with Photoshop. There is definitely some parallax, and it's more obvious because of the angle that I'm pointing the camera at. But if you are going to be drawing straight from the front, the parallax is quite minimal. This is what I would see from the front of the screen. The parallax here is not that obvious. By the way, if you want to create dots like this, you cannot just tap onto the screen. You do have to move very slightly in order to create the dots like this. This is how strokes taper in Photoshop. I think they taper quite gradually, quite nicely. Some brands of pen displays can have tapering issues or some weird effects when you are drawing lines. Here it looks like it works fine. This is Adobe Illustrator. I have picked a brush that can use the pressure, and it works fine here. Again, there is no lag whatsoever. This is Medibank Paint Pro. Pressure works here very nicely. It's very responsive. There is no lag at all. This is a fantastic app for drawing. The lines, they can transition from thin to thick very easily. This is Mischief. Pressure works as well. This is Krita. Pressure works here. This is Tayasui Sketches Pro. Pressure works here as well. This is Affinity Photo. Pressure works here as well. And now I'm on Windows 10. So the tablet driver, it looks roughly similar, except here you can sort of export the driver settings. This is Photoshop. Pressure works here. And this is very responsive. Let's try and draw some curves. I see that there is some slight jitter at 100%. Let me zoom in to 200%. So usually the jitter goes away at 200%, the jitter in the lines. So this is now very, very smooth. Let me show you some thin to thick strokes. Let me show you how the strokes taper. So they do not taper as smoothly compared to Wacom tablets. So you see this tapering. This is not as gradual compared to perhaps this line here. The strange tapering effect only happens when you are drawing really thick lines. So these lines, they are thinner. Let me zoom in to let you see the quality of the lines. So now they taper more gradually. This is Adobe Illustrator. Pressure works here as well. Let me try and draw some thin lines. I have a little splotch here. Let's see if I can reproduce that. So it looks like it's a random splotch. This is Wacom Bamboo Paper, a Windows 10 tablet app. Pressure works here as well. This is Sketchable, another Windows tablet app. Pressure works here. This is Medibank Paint Pro. The user interface is a bit wonky. You see these giant buttons, but the menus are very small. So the scaling for the user interface, it's not that well done in this particular app. It works well with pressure. The lines are quite smooth. The lines taper very well, very beautifully. This is Mischief. This is quite responsive. Pressure works very well. All the apps that I have used on Windows and also on Mac, they are all very responsive. This is Krita. Pressure works here. Initially, I had some problems with the misalignment. That means the cursor, it was further away from the tip, but after I restarted the app, it works fine now. And Krita is also very responsive. We are almost at the end of the video, so let me just give you a very quick pros and cons recap on the Huion GT-190. The things that I like would be the drawing functionality, the drawing performance. It works. I was actually expecting some sort of glitch with the software that I use and also maybe with the driver, but there were none, so this definitely gets a big thumbs up from me. That would be the thing that I like. As for the things that I don't like, there are actually several, mainly because of the limitation of the display. The first thing would definitely be the glossy screen. That's just the way it is nowadays. Most pen displays, in fact most monitors nowadays, they feature glossy screen, so you cannot get away with that. Now the thing with glossy screen is when you actually put your hand on it, it creates some sort of friction, you know, the hand on glass, that kind of feeling. If you want your drawing experience to be a bit smoother, you can get one of those artist gloves and draw on the screen, and it will also prevent your hand from smudging the screen with hand oil. The other thing that I do not like is the color accuracy. So this is a TFT panel, and color accuracy really depends on the viewing angle that you are using. So right now, I'm not sure if you can see it clearly. Even when I have the camera pointed at the screen like this, the colors is a bit off, and when I'm viewing it from the side here, the colors is a bit off as well. So you only get the most accurate color when you are viewing straight on like this. But it may or may not be a deal breaker depending on the type of work that you do. So if you're going to be drawing, creating art for casual purposes, I think it's still good for that purpose. But if you are going to be creating art for production purposes, for print especially, or for anything that requires any sort of color accuracy, you can still use this, but you will need an additional monitor that is calibrated, that has good color accuracy in order to check your work. So that would be one of the main limitations of this TFT panel. And the other thing that I do not like is the resolution. The 1440 by 900 resolution is very usable, but at this price I was hoping that I could at least get 1080p. So more resolution means more working space for you to put all the palettes like this, and also for you to view your work. But here the resolution is a bit lower. It's very usable, but for the price, if you can, do look for a pen display that offers 1080p resolution. This display has been on for almost 2 hours, and it feels slightly warm, but it's not too uncomfortable to work on for a long period of time. And the last thing I want to mention is this pen display, it only comes with a VGA cable. If your computer doesn't have the VGA port, you will need to spend extra money to get a proper graphics cable or an adapter. So that's something to take note of. That's all for my review today. I hope this video is helpful. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. And if you are interested in getting yourself a pen display, you can check out the purchase links in the video description below. Special thanks to Gearbest again for sending me this review unit. And if you want to get the GT-190, you can actually purchase it from Gearbest website. They also sell other tablets as well. Alright. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.